So everybody wants to be considered the best shooter on the team, but to be honest, too many of you guys are making simple mistakes that are absolutely killing your jump shot. But the good news is each one of these mistakes is easily fixable. All it takes is just a slight adjustment. Let's dive into it. The first place people make the most mistakes with is their alignment. So everyone's told, grab the basketball, put your hand right in the middle of the ball. Right now, I've already messed up my alignment because my hand's in the middle, but now my upper arm is at a weird angle. So my fingers are pointing forward, but my upper arm's going this way. Now, they try to tell you do this so you can shoot the ball straight, which they're right, but they're messing up your alignment when you go to shoot. Because if I just took my hand like this and I just raised it, you can see how crooked my arm actually is. So what we can do to just easily fix this is put our hand on the basketball. Instead of having our thumb point this way, we're gonna just turn our hand and have our thumb point closer to our chest. Now, what we don't wanna do is put our hand on the side of the basketball and have our thumb pointing up. We just want our thumb slightly closer to our body. So now it kind of makes like a U shape with our hand. So now we're here, everything is alignment in this position, because now if I take my hand off the basketball, when I raise it, everything stays stacked together. So my arm is straight, my wrist is over top of my elbow. So now if I go to follow through, I can just push straight to the rim. So you wanna make sure you can have your hand in alignment so you're not straight like this, it's just slightly turned. The most common mistake I see amongst all shooters who can't make shots at a high level is that they aren't subscribed to I Love Basketball TV. So the smart thing would be to do is to like, comment, and subscribe to us, but also go to the pinned comment down below and grab our ultimate shooting checklist to make sure you have the perfect jump shot. The second part to alignment that a lot of people mess up is how they set their feet. A lot of people are told you have to shoot with 10 toes to the rim. That's not necessarily wrong, but you can also tilt your feet as well. The issue with 10 toes to the rim is where you typically get told to place the basketball. So if my 10 toes are facing straight, if I get told to put my hand directly in the middle and hold the ball in the middle, now my fingers are trying to point straight and my elbows twisted out. So that's that mistake we were talking about earlier. So if you make that adjustment by turning that thumb in, now my fingers are pointing this way, my upper body's kind of pointing this way, but my toes are facing this way. So not everything is aligned. What we want to do is add a tilt if I want to pick up the ball in the middle of our body. So I'm left-handed, so my feet will tilt slightly to the right. If you were right-handed, your feet would tilt slightly to the left. If you were to look at a clock, 12 o'clock would be right in the middle. So if I'm left-handed, my feet would be somewhere between 12 and 1. Right-handed, feet would be somewhere between 12 and 11. How we want to make sure our alignment is set up with the tilt is everything is facing this way. My toes are facing this way, but my fingers are also pointing this way, because remember, we tilted our thumb up, so now everything is going this direction. When I lift the ball up, everything is stacked, still facing the same direction. Now all I have to do is just push through the middle of the basketball. The reason why the tilt works is because it pushes everything closer to the rim. The issue with the 10 toes is sometimes people like to turn their body and they get twisted at the end because they're trying to get their dominant side closer to the hoop. If you guys were to think about almost every throwing sport, you always end with your dominant side closer to the target. So if we're thinking about trying to throw a dart, I would line up my body with my dominant side closer to the target. If I wanted to throw a baseball or a football, I'm gonna start here, and then my dominant side is gonna end closer to the target. It'd be the same thing with shooting. That's why having a tilt is not wrong. 10 toes to the rim is also not wrong as well. You just have to line up the right way. So if my 10 toes are facing the hoop, I don't want to pick up the ball in the middle of my body. I want to put the ball more on my dominant side hip. So now everything is facing the same way. My fingers are pointing straight, my toes are pointing straight. So now when I lift it, everything's aligned towards the rim. Now I can push to the middle and shoot the ball straight. So a good drill to help you guys align yourselves better is just a simple drop drill. So you're gonna get to your spot. You can go 5 spots if you want to, doesn't matter how many spots, but however you set up, that's how I want you to get set up first. So if you like to be 10 toes straight, or if you like to be tilt, get into that position first. So I'm more of a tilt shooter. So I'm gonna get set up in my tilt, hold the basketball. I wanna make sure my hands are loaded and ready to shoot. From here, I'm starting straight up. All I wanna do is just drop straight down and then get into my shot. I wanna make sure I'm aligned the correct way before I get into the drill. That's the biggest part. So if I'm 10 toes to the rim, I wanna make sure I'm putting my focus on not putting the ball in the middle, putting the ball on more of the side. If I'm a tilt, I wanna make sure I'm focused on keeping the ball kind of more towards the middle line of my body and just dropping quick and then raising through the rest of my shot. If you guys go 5 spots, try to make 5 to 10 shots per spot. So the second most common mistake a lot of people make when they're shooting is they collapse their angle. So they get set up, they have their ball ready to go. Before they shoot though, they bring the ball back closer to their body so the ball is away. So they close the angle between their upper arm and their bicep. They pull the ball back and then they want to shoot it. What they're trying to do is they're trying to create energy in their shot to get the ball to go from them to the hoop, right? Everybody has to create energy. But the way they're doing it is they're pulling it in and then firing it away. The issue with that is how you load is the direction of where you're going to go. So just in general, if I'm trying to jump higher, I'm going to drop down and then jump up. If I want to throw a baseball as fast as I can or a football as hard as I can, that way I'm gonna load back and then I'm gonna throw it forward. So when I'm trying to shoot a basketball, I'm trying to shoot the ball up and out at the same time. So I can't just pull the ball back because that's typically gonna make me wanna fire the ball straight back out, and that's gonna cause issues later on down the line. So what you guys want to do is bring the ball down right around to your belly button area. So now you can keep this angle that you set here with your arm, and now you can push the ball up, keeping this angle right here, and now you can follow through towards the rim. So when it comes to dipping the basketball and getting it to our correct spot, some people make the issues of going too low, right? So they'll catch it and then they bring the ball way too low. So now the arm might straighten out. Now that's a longer distance to bring the ball back up, and that causes issues later on down the line. So what we want to do is make sure we can just bring it down right to about our belly button area and keep the angle that we established. So when we catch it, we're bringing the ball down, but we're still trying to keep this angle that we established early. So now keeping our forearm parallel to the floor. So now we have this angle. From here, we can just push into our shot. This angle remains the same, which creates consistency. Now we can follow through and shoot our shot towards the hoop. So a good drill to help you guys with making sure that you guys keep the proper angles is just get nice and low. Make sure you guys have the ball where you want to set it up. But from here, just take a quick 2 to 3 second pause and then push up through the rest of your shot. So you're starting the ball in the right spot, and now you're pushing through the rest of your shot, and you're not pulling the ball back. I want you guys to go 5 spots and try to make 5 to 10 shots per spot. So the third issue a lot of people have within their shot is they don't know how to actually use their elbow the proper way. They know how to align their elbow maybe so it's nice and tucked and it's straight to the rim, but they don't know how to use it within their shot. So once they get to their set point here, they allow their elbow to keep traveling up. So as their elbow extends, all they have left to go with to get the ball to the hoop is just this little bit of an extension. The issue with that is the ball has to do 2 things to go in. It has to go up and it has to go out. So the higher my elbow gets with the ball still in my hand, the less power I'm gonna have to get the ball to actually go towards the hoop. So what we wanna do is get nice and low. We wanna stabilize our elbow here. Once we get to our set point, it doesn't matter if it's lower or higher, we wanna be able to now allow our elbow to go backwards and up. So now it starts to go back and up, and now my arm actually goes out towards the hoop so the ball can actually cover that distance from me to the rim. So a little bit of an example of how to actually stabilize the elbow and actually use it in the right way is throwing darts. So when someone gets set up to throw a dart, they can line up, establish the angle with their elbow, and they probably practice a little bit, and then they just extend their arm out. We wanna do the same thing, but our target is not straight ahead of us, it's 10 feet in the air. So we want to get our angle established here. So now our elbow's in the right spot, stabilize this elbow, but now we wanna use the elbow in the right way to just throw the dart or throw the ball, AKA shoot the ball into the hoop. A good drill to help with this is just get to the rim. We're gonna kind of do like form shooting, but not super close to the rim. So you should start about a step or 2 in front of the rim, stabilize the ball, get to our set point, and then from here, you guys are close enough to the hoop where you don't have to jump. All I want you guys to do is just focus on using your arm to get the ball to go towards the hoop the right way. Flicking your wrist, making sure the ball comes off your fingertips, doing all the correct things. With this drill, I want you guys to make 15 shots from this exact spot. So I want you guys to get set up. When you guys get to your spot, I want to make sure you guys hold it for about 2 to 3 seconds so you can really stabilize its position. And then from here, just make sure you shoot the basketball, making 15 shots. What I want you guys to know is that there is a domino effect to almost everything that we do when it comes to shooting. So if we get nice and low, everything's aligned. Now we can push the ball up. We can get to the correct spot at our set point. Everything is stabilized. Then we can push up and out using our elbow in the right spot. Those are all good domino effects, but we can also start wrong in certain areas. So if I start with the ball too high, that's gonna force me to now pull the ball back, collapse that angle. Now I'm not gonna be able to use my elbow the proper way sometimes. So I wanna make sure you guys get set up properly and do everything you guys should, so now everything flows in the right direction. Now, if you guys want a checklist that helps you guys shoot the perfect jump shot, just go down to the pinned comment below, take our ultimate shooting guide. It's yours. You get a free workout.